Hey guys, it's Tali and welcome back to my corner of the internet. Today I wanted to talk about the books I read this semester for uni. So this semester I read 4 books, 3 digitally and 1 physically. So this was the last one I finished. It is Bridgerton Book 1, The Duke and I. Season 1 of the Bridgerton TV show is based on this. I read this for my genre novel class, which we read 4 different books and then broke them down in their different genres, so each of them represented 1 to 2. For this one, it was romance and contemporary, I believe, or historical fiction. I hated it. It was a 2-star read, and honestly, that was just because of the brothers. Daphne and Simon's romance is just not compelling to me. In the beginning, it's fun to sort of read about like a ruse and, fake dating trope, but in the end, and this is a trigger warning for sexual assault, what happens between the couple is a male sexual assault victim from his wife. And so for me, that kind of completely destroyed the story, as well as just the story just dragged on and really, in a way, empowered the offender, and rather than helping the victim or doing anything to really, I guess, delve into that sort of theme. It's really hard because I wanted to love it. I love the TV show. Even the new Queen Charlotte show was really, really good. But yeah, this one was just a dumpster fire and way too fucking long. The only redeemable factors, as I said, was Daphne's brothers and their sort of really cute, like, protectiveness towards her and how they always want the best for her. Especially, I think Anthony was really interesting in that regard. But yeah, that one was the worst one for the semester. I also read the Murderbot Diaries novella 1 and 2. All Systems Red, and oh my gosh, I can never remember the other one, but I'll put them both up on the screen here. So I read these two for series writing and science fiction. They were both about 150 pages and absolutely amazing. The first one was a 5-star read, the second one was a 4. They were both really entertaining. The main character, Murderbot, is a security protection AI unit hired to protect a group of scientists as they explore a foreign planet. So it is responsible for all safety protocols and that sort of thing. However, it has hacked its main governing module that tells it what to do in order to download and watch TV. It doesn't have a gender. Sometimes I'll use different pronouns for it, but most of the time they watch comedies or like starship romances, all those sorts of things to understand humans, but also hates being with them. A job is sort of boring for it, but is readily entertaining to read. I really enjoyed the first book. Obviously, for spoilers, I can't say too much about the second, but I really enjoyed how Murderbot's character from the beginning of the first book to the end of the second novella was really developed, and I feel like it was the perfect length. I never felt myself getting bored. I always was learning about the world in a way that wasn't too info-dumpy, and I really just felt like it was a well-rounded story for 150 pages. The last book I'll talk about for today is The Children of Blood and Bone by Todi Amiami. This was my favorite book of the semester and easily the best written. It is an African-inspired fantasy that follows 3 perspectives: Zele, who is the magic class, Inan and Amari from the royal household, and we follow their journey through the world of Orisha, which is full of magic, corruption, and a lot of class warfare. In this book, Zele is part of the class of people known as the Magi, and she is of white hair but still brown skin, like every other character. She is notified in this difference and is treated like a second-class citizen and not human. Magi, before the incursion, which killed her mother, were highly revered and very magical people and were involved in ruling. And so when the king decided to kill all of the Magi on that night, magic suddenly disappeared. And so at this stage, Zile is 13 and fighting for her life as a slave, essentially, or very close to being. The taxes continue to rise. She's learning through Mama Akbar how to use the staff, which is the traditional weapon, and is really just sort of filled with this hatred for the monarchy. On the other hand, you have Inan, the perfect son of the king, his second family, and the sort of golden child, head of the captain of the guard. He is very young, very feisty, and very much hating the Magi. And this is sort of the conditioning that you see within him, that his father's placed upon him. And as you go along, you'll see a great struggle that he has to contend with. Amari, his much more sheltered and feisty sister, is the third perspective and very much has a different opinion. She had a slave who was her handmaiden and best friend murdered in front of her right at the beginning. And so she sees the world from a completely different perspective and aims to try and find a way to help restore magic and get, I guess, her father out of power. She is really good with a sword and sort of seems like this damsel in distress, but slowly grows as a character. So we sort of follow these three as they interact, as well as other members of Zile's family and different Magi throughout the world. It was really, really good. I could talk about this one all the time, but it was a 5-star read. And yeah, I highly recommend it. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Up next will be my boyfriend chooses my TBR. So it won't be a specific month just because we're right in the middle of a month, and yeah, he has chosen a few books. So thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you want to learn more about books.